In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to add music and work with action scripting within Flash Professional 8. Action scripting will allow us to tell our animation to stop instead of continuously playing on a loop, and it will also allow us to have all of our sounds stop when the animation stops, so the sound is not continuing to play after our animation is done. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer for my sound. So just like any other time we are inserting something into our animation, we do want to be sure that it is in its own layer. So I've got my layer named sound up here at the top. The next thing I need to do is insert my sound into Flash. You can use any MP3, whether it's from YouTube or a flashkit.com is another really good place to get sounds, or the kids can bring in a song from home that they would like to use. To insert a sound, we're going to go to File, Import, Import to Stage. And I'm going to find my song within my computer, so mine's on my desktop. I'm going to click Open. Now, over in your library, you should be able to see your sound right over here. If you cannot see your library, go to Window, and then make sure the library button is clicked so you are able to see your library. Next thing I'm going to do is go to my timeline, and I am going to select my first keyframe. I'm going to open my Properties toolbar, and I'm going to see where it says Sound. I'm going to click on my sound. So you can see that my sound at this point is just as long as the rest of my animation, so 40 frames. In reality, this song is 10 seconds long, so it's actually 120 frames long because every second within Flash is 12 frames. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some action scripting, so that way when my animation is done, my sound stops playing. The first thing we need to do is come and click on the last frame of our sound. We're going to right click and we're going to remove that frame. The reason being is that the action scripting has to be on the last frame of your animation. So in my case, it's on the 40th keyframe, which means I'm going to need to remove any sound that is on that 40th frame. Next, I'm going to right click and insert a keyframe. The reason I have to insert a keyframe is that is what the action scripting has to go onto. So it has to go on to something that has a keyframe within it. You cannot put action scripting on a regular frame. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Properties toolbar. Right here above where it says Properties, I have an Actions section. I'm going to maximize that, and I've got different things within here. So over on the left, I have my global functions, timeline control, and then a bunch of different options. For this one, because I'm working with sound, I'm going to drag over my stop all sounds. So now you can see that my frame here has a little A on top of it. That means that I have inserted action scripting within that frame. And anytime we're doing music, we do want to be sure we do stop all sounds. The next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to go down to the next frame right below my music. I'm still on my 40th keyframe. This time I'm going to click and drag over my stop script. So all you have to do is click and drag it into our little work area here. So now you can see that both of these keyframes have an A on the top. So now, when I minimize that, and I go back to my first keyframe, I can hit Control-Enter, and now my animation will play, and the music and the animation will stop when it gets to the 40th frame. So you can see that my animation has stopped moving, and my sound has stopped playing once it gets to the end of my animation. And that is how you do action scripting, as well as inserting sounds within Flash.